What's up everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Soul, aka the Bodybuilding Banker. Today I'm going to discuss the tips on how to crush your investment banking internship. Make sure you stay tuned, like and subscribe and enjoy the video. So in case you're new to the channel, I post videos about my lifestyle as an investment banker and also how I incorporate the fitness aspect. And the Life of Soul is all about soulfully balancing the two worlds. I think it's really important. Check out the video playlist I have on my channel to see the other videos. So I would say probably the most important thing is to understand the decision-making process behind the offer. This will really put you instead of actually getting a full-time offer. And the way to do this is to focus on three key variables. The one I would say first and most important is the quality of work. Second, I would also say is the fit with the team. And third and final thing I would say is the trajectory of growth you show within your internship. Now, in terms of the quality of work, investment banking, as you know, is a highly pressured industry, which is all about results. And even if you don't know much at the start, if you can show that you are, have attention to detail, that you're listening and you're making sure that you produce high quality work, this will definitely stand you in good stead. And I probably believe this is the most important thing because it's a results-based industry. Now, with the second one, fit is almost equally as important. You need to take a step back and understand that investment banking is a people industry, and ultimately people are at the heart of the decision-making process. So use your induction week, for example, to take advantage and learn the team, meet people, whether it's through Zoom or in-person coffee chats, and understand what people are like. Ask them questions outside investment banking. One of my favorite questions to ask people is, coming as an eager intern, what do you think are the important things I should do to show myself as someone who's keen to join the firm and join the team, and how can I prove my worth? By asking those questions and reflecting on people's experience, it can actually help you because these people are likely to be more senior and you would have done this before, and it'll really help you going forward. So the third and final thing on that point is all about your growth trajectory. And let me just explain this a bit. It's fine to come in and not be the best, to not know the most. With investment banking, what you tend to have is some people with master's degrees, some people with previous internship experience. So they'll come in likely with more knowledge than you. And that's absolutely fine. I was one of those who actually didn't have much knowledge, didn't have as much experience as the others. But the key thing to show is growth trajectory during your internship. If you can come in, say, as a novice, but you at the end of the 9 or 10 weeks, you show that you have grown, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for people who are keen listeners, very good learners, and show attention to detail. And linking up with the other points, if you ask people for constant feedback and you actually act on that feedback and they can see direct progress, this will definitely stand you in good stead and make you a shoo-in to enter and likely to get the offer. The second most important thing I would probably say when trying to secure an investment banking offer is to keep track of your progress and monitor and act on your feedback. Now, there's a number of ways which you can do this. I would probably say the easiest way is during your midterm review, which is normally a review you have with your hiring managers at the halfway point of your internship. It's important to go in quite open-minded and listen to the feedback you receive, whether good or as long as it's constructive, and make sure you act on this. Ask questions on how you can improve. If the person's quite open, ask them questions on how you or how they would act in that certain situation, because it's all about the growth trajectory and how you perform towards the end of the internship. So my next tip for you guys is to focus on the quality of work over speed. Now, I know as new interns, you're really keen to make a really good impression, but honestly, producing high quality work over speed is something that will save you hours and hours of time and will make whoever is giving you the work, aka the analysts or the associates, life a lot more easier. And let me explain this. So as an analyst, generally, if you've been there for a year, 2 years, or even longer, you're likely to be able to deliver tasks a lot more faster than an intern would. And so if you give an intern work, you do understand giving an intern work is actually going to be a lot longer than for you because you could do it a lot quicker yourself. Now, what would make the process a lot more efficient is if you were to give the intern work and the intern was going to get it right first time. Listen, we understand you're learning a lot, so it's not likely you might not get in first time. But if there's fewer iterations, which means fewer going back and forth, it's actually going to be better for you going forward. So I'll definitely say, make sure you ask the right questions. Make sure you understand the approach going forward. So say if I was going to give you some work, you'll say, how would you approach this? Now, this makes me open up and tell you the right approach, and it definitely delivers you high quality advice, but also make sure there's no ambiguity. And if you do follow the steps, you're able to actually deliver the right quality of work that the analyst is asking for, and fewer mistakes are a lot better, and they're likely to come back to you and work with you and likely to pull you up and say that this person performed really good during the internship. So the fourth tip I'll give you guys is make sure you check your work. Well, there's a number of ways in which you can do this. My most favorite way is printing the work out. If you take a step back and think to yourself, you're looking at the screens, you could be tired, you could be working on multiple projects. It's very highly likely that you might miss a few things which will cause mistakes. Now, mistakes is fine, but as long as you don't repeat it. But to reduce the number of mistakes, it's important to print stuff out, take a walk around the office and actually read it to yourself, see that it makes mistakes, and compare it to the document. So generally, if you're working with an analyst or your team, what they'll give you, they may give you a presentation and they may ask you to make a couple of changes. Now, once you've done the work and you've read over it on your computer, you can print it out and have it on a different desk side by side and write a checklist and just tick off everything that was asked of you to make sure it is perfect. So my next tip for you guys is to manage expectations. Now, the phrase that actually comes to mind is under promise and over deliver. And hold up guys, I'll explain to you what I mean. If you were given as an intern analyst, work from your analyst, now I would follow up with insightful questions as how should I approach this? How should I be thinking of this? What is the best way to produce this work and how would you like to see it? Now, when you're asking these questions, you need to be thinking in your head how long it will take for you. And you need to understand in investment banking or even in any job, often is the case when you're given something, it will often take longer than you actually anticipate. So say if I speak to my senior and I realize this work is going to take me about 5 hours, I would go on and follow up and say, I could have this work in perhaps 8 hours. And what you actually do is you go and perform the work and you deliver it ahead of time. And what that will do for the person who's giving you the work is they will understand that you're able to set goals, set deadlines and meet them. That is extremely important. And this will make the person more likely to work with you going forward. So the next tip I have for you guys is to make sure you always write things down. When someone's taken time to explain to you a project or how to go about work, you need to understand they've actually taken time out of their busy schedule, and it's really important to write things down. The first reason is because it shows that you're listening. The second is it's really helpful as reference. And the third thing is that you reduce the number of mistakes. Now, say if that you write things down and you get another project, because investment banking can be super busy, by writing things down, it gives you a reference point to always go back. And if you have any questions, it's fine to go back, but to make sure that you're accurate, you have things written down, and it will make sure that you're not asking the same question, so people feel that the valued time given to you is worth their while. So another tip for you guys is to make sure you save time to network with people. Again, going back to what I said, although it's a really fast-paced industry, investment banking is a people industry, and people often make the decisions. So take time to speak to different people, whether they're in your team, outside your team, and just ask informal questions. Make sure you'll be strategic though. You know, say that you're either really keen to learn, ask about their experiences, ask about their team, and importantly, ask about is there any spaces, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're working really hard and you're performing really well, but your team might not just have space. But if you keep open-minded and you go around and ask the team, as long as you're performing really well, making that connection will mean when it comes to decision table, if you're ranked really high in quality but your team don't have any space, because you've made those connections and people know about you, they'll say, hey, I met that guy, he's an awesome guy, I think he'll be a great fit to the team, and it'll help you going forward to get the return offer. Last but not least, be a sponge. You know, learn as much as possible, ask the right questions. The reason why it's really important because it shows that you're really keen to learn. It shows the person that you're listening. What you need to know is investment bankers often have a wide array of experience and they love to talk. If someone's a really good listener, that's probably one of the most important skills you have. And when you listen, you can really grow. If you come in and say you don't know how to write a financial model or don't understand the three statements, but you take time to ask the right questions, you spend time when you're not working to do your own research, and towards the end of the internship, you're able to do this and you've shown that you've been proactive in your feedback, people are really going to appreciate this because they think to themselves, if this person can improve in a short space of time, say 9 weeks, what can I do with 9 months in the person? What could I do with 2 years with a person? So this gives them a good indication about your growth trajectory, which is what the internship is all about. So definitely be a sponge and definitely learn as much. This will help you going forward. Right guys, I really hope you've enjoyed the video and I found it helpful. Please let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Be sure to like and subscribe. Remember, on my website, The Life of Soul, I share with you tips and tricks of how to break in investment banking and how I balance it with a fitness lifestyle. I have available cover letters which have performed really well and got into some of the best investment banks and consultancies. You can also book a consultation call with me where we can go through your CV if you have one, build a CV if you don't have one, and understand your strategy of how to break in the industry even if you don't have any experience. And finally, a CV workshop, and this goes through how to present the best CV forward, because as you know, investment bank review thousands and thousands of CVs. So make sure your CV is well formatted, it has the relevant experience, it has action words to make sure that you are very keen and you present yourself in the best light possible. Again, thank you for watching. It's your boy Life of Soul. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.